Hey there guys, welcome back to a deck profile with yours truly, Paul Reisman. Today we're going to be taking a look at Daltin Slocum's Ki Lua control that he piloted against me in this last week's feature match. Without further ado, let's dig in.
This session brought to you by Odyssey Games for pre-orders and sealed product, CCG Prime for tons of singles and supplies, Cardo Doko for international rulers looking for product, and FoulLibrary.com for articles and wonderful deck lists, as well as our guest lecturer members Vite Ramen, King Pearlshine, and Mognite. Class is in session.
So right from the get-go, Daltin was in love with the concept of this ruler, being able to take off ice counters to draw additional cards, and then eventually use Divine Lightning as a tool to go into Predator. Little did we realize how pivotal Divine Lightning on a closer inspection was going to be to shutting down other contract rulers. So Daltin saw that and took it into a control direction, which I thought was really interesting. He played Child of the Darkness Moon and Child of the Light Moon for some additional control and also some board control that he could just use at any time, meaning that the game is slowed down to his liking, which was very evident in our game. He's of course playing 4 of the Divine Lightning that goes into Predator. More often than not, he's not even actually going into Predator, as you can see in our game, but a lot of the ability to just shut off the ability for me to contract goes a long way against a deck like T2, right? So Divine Lightning for him was really good, especially if he's able to do it for free because of the mastery cost being a part of being the cost of casting this card. It was just really strong overall, really good ruler, and just really cool card as a contract. He was playing 3 of the Rushing Dinosaur to get in some mean damage for a 1-drop. 6 damage on a 1-drop. It also pings things, which is really nice. He's also playing 3 of the Wind Chaser Dinosaur. This is really more of a combo card as much as he used it. You remove an ice counter from your J ruler and you can recover a dinosaur. So things like playing this, recovering your Rushing Dinosaur or any of your others that are down here, that's really, really, really powerful. He's playing 3 of the Permafrost Cthulhu. This thing is insane, especially when you consider that it's just a casual 1-drop 12/4 with precision, pierce, and swiftness on the turn it comes in, which is really, really powerful. I say it's a 1 cost because more regularly than not, you are removing ice counters. And this thing is incredibly cheap. As soon as the game goes into like turn 3 or 4, this thing is a major, major, major threat that you have to account for. This thing has amazing stats, and it's got also just amazing art. I mean, just look at this. This thing's breaking out of ice. It's amazing. He's playing 3 Grandelian, Strongest Ancient. This is sort of like a downgraded Yirian, but in this deck, it's just a really, really good support card that can also just turn into a win condition. It has swiftness, precision, pierce. It's got a lot of good things happening for it, and it's a 15/15, which is certainly not bad. Its activate abilities are actually really relevant. You remove an ice counter from your J ruler and discard this card, and then you get to deal some additional damage, or you just get to get rid of a flyer. So this is, really helpful in a lot of ways. Plus it has that extra burn damage in case they want to try and kill it, with the most efficient removal in the game, 1-drops. Next up we have the best generic draw spell I've seen in red in a very long time. No bite, no fight. Just remove an ice counter from your J ruler, and if you do, draw a card. Because of how you pair this up with Ki Lua, every time you remove an ice counter, you actually draw an additional card. So this is effectively a 1-cost quick cast, draw 2, or you can just produce 3 will of any attribute, either red or green. And if you have no ice counters, you just have free will. Like, that's just amazing. Dinner time plus draw spell equals good card. One of the go wide field spell, go wide win conditions of the deck that buffs the field. I'm jumping ahead of my brain, as you can see, is gas. This card is amazing. The lower amount of ice counters that you have, that you remove that turn, this card is not only really strong as a 1-drop, but does even more buffs to the field as it comes out. In general, a 4/4 and Pierce for 1 is your field, like that's pretty good, especially at quick cast speed. But the fact that it just gets even better in Ki Lua and her specific mechanic is also just fantastic. So now for the support resonators and spells and stuff, we have Melfi. The deck is already producing a lot of extra will. Melfi helps to make Grand Alien a little bit easier to achieve. It helps to make other cards very easy to cast as well. More will means that you are going to outcontrol your opponent in this deck more often than not, so this card is super good for that. 3 of the Ascendant, more will, you're going to be able to control more. Plus the thing is quick cast and it's a Cthulhu, so it not only, you know, it happens to be in theme, it's actually just really good for the deck in general, especially since it wants to control more, and so having more will and more stones helps the deck to do that relatively easily, especially since your main control card can be cast for free. So this card is really good for this overall strategy. 4 Lorite, if you're a control deck, if you're a modern deck, you need to at least consider Lorite. This deck is already in green, so it makes sense to just run Lorite as it is. He's also running Lorite alongside 3 Fairer spells. That's the standard locals cancel package that we have right now at CCG Prime. So this is just a really effective package for our own locals, but you could easily just make this Memory of Worlds if you're somebody who's in that side of the metagame. Just replace this with Memory of Worlds and you still have a really strong cancel package that'll certainly do the control things you need it to do. His favorite and my favorite card, Magic Stone Research Institute. It buffs your field. You have 3 rulers. Remove your opponent's graveyard. Profit. Card's amazing. What else do I need to say about it? He also really loves Trishula and slams this card into pretty much any deck. What's really helpful about this card is that you actually do have the ability to get cards above 3,000 attack cumulatively on the field, so your Pierce and Eternal stuff does really go a long way. Plus it nets you an extra stone, which is really helpful, especially, again, for all the same reasons as Ascendant. You're actually doing the stone ramp you need to do to get here, or you're producing extra will with Melfi. Because Divine Lightning has that mastery cost, you can get a lot of interesting cards into this deck and get away with a lot of stuff. So this card is super good. 2 Dispelling Stone. I think Dalton and I have had this conversation about why Dispelling Stone is super good right now. There's just a lot of really strong additions like Magic Stone Research Institute that can just win games on its own because of how good it is. Plus getting rid of anything that's really pivotal. I think Dispelling Stone is going to see a lot more play, at least at the local level going forward, if people have access to it. It is a normal, so it shouldn't be that hard to get, and it does net you a card. I mean, this card was good on day 1, so Dispelling Stone at 2, pretty good. And he's also playing 2 Angelic Battle Barrier to just silence his opponent. You can't really see them on the screen right now, but he's playing 2 of the Secret Stone of the Chaos Moon, 2 Fragment of the Darkness Moon, 2 Fragment of the Fire Moon, 2 Adiractus Memoria, a Sacred Stone of the Wanderer Moon for just that little splash of white, and then Knowledge Stone to round it out and just for the memes. But anyway, guys, this has been Dalton's deck. Let us know what you think down in the comment section down below. Is this how you've been running Ki Lua? Have you gotten some cool ideas? Let us know down there. And while you're down there, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button. And until next time, this has been Paul, signing off.